Hello, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in again. Once again, my name is Nicole, Creative One on YouTube, First Lady for Life on Instagram. And I'm here to bring you another video for family. Acronym F.A.M.I.L.Y. Father and Mother, I love you. I want to center and basically focus my attention on topics that relate to family. And today's topic, I want to talk about chaos. So my question is, how do we as a family deal with conflict, confusion, and chaos as a whole? Now, many of us as individuals, let alone go through stuff where is it that we have our own issues and we bump heads with many individuals. When it comes to family, there should be a difference in what we just allow to happen or what we just let go over our head or just not even deal with altogether. But at the same time, there are situations that need to be addressed. And most times you have a situation, there's a confusion, misunderstanding, whatever the case is, it starts there. Then that leads to conflict. Next thing you know, both parties are conflicting, they're arguing, they're debating, there's all kind of stuff, and then chaos. Now we done escalated. Now we might even deal with physical, and ain't no telling beyond that point. At some point, we have to be able to say, we should be able to, as family, to sit down and address the issue as family and grown folks, sit down and say, let's listen to everybody's part, everybody's a view or experience, and not take their experience from them, but yet respect the fact that this is how they feel. Then state, how can we all collectively come up with a solution? Now, it does sound easy. It sounds easy, and that's a lot of reasons why we don't want to take on the role to say, okay, let's break it down and let's have this sit down and let's deal with this issue. I've seen situations in families where is it that confusion that led to conflict escalated so much chaos that individuals were actually hurt, and some even fatal. And then it takes it to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Well, what did you mean? Did you mean to sit down and talk about the issue at hand? Because you're entitled to feel how you feel. We just want to stop it before it goes to a physical aspect. Now, I have a couple of scenarios that I do want to sit down and I do want to share with you all, because I want you all to understand where I'm coming from. But first, one thing that my mother really instilled in me and my siblings is family talks. And I believe that having family talks, that help. It's important. When we get to getting into the practice and momentum of talking on a regular with family and being able to be open, that can lead until our adulthood, and it becomes a pattern or a routine that we have, and that's good, because that means that things will be addressed before they're confronted, and confrontation leads to ain't no telling. So I've had issues with my parents, I've had issues with my siblings, and then I've had issues with my children. Each one I have learned we should be able to sit and talk. We have all of these different talk shows, all of these different help programs on TV where we have therapists, we have counselors, we have doctors, we have psychiatrists who are making efforts and initiatives to show us ways, strategies, methods, using tools that we have in order to deal with issues, so that we don't have to either have them trickle down to new generations, or escalate and get out of control to where is it that we're dealing with fatalities. It is not that serious. Even down to, if you got to deal with somebody that's stealing, taking money from you in your family. And I know you might just want to whoop somebody's butt because of that. I get it. And I put this meme up on Instagram before, and I got the quote. I've seen the quote many a times, but it means something, and it resonated here. But it says, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? And even in situations like that, that can be teaching you that you need to not loan that particular family member money. I'm not saying that I don't even get upset if I loan someone some money and they don't give it back. Of course, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be very upset because I didn't have to give you that. My main focus is that I want to show how we need to be able to address issues that are formed based on confusion, misunderstanding. We're not on the same, on the same level of understanding, whatever. Let's talk about it. Even if we end with, I'm just not going to deal with you no more, and you're not going to deal with me. If that's the most peacefulest solution at this point, it's not a bad one. Because there's no physical contact, and then there's no fatalities. Now, as I'm growing up, once I become grown and I'm getting older, I'm smelling myself, I'm in my feelings because I feel I'm grown, so it's what I want to do, how I want to feel, what I want to say, and all of that. And that, in turn, began to have me bump heads with my elders, my parents. I missed out on things. I was upset for things that I went through, but my approach in delivering how I felt was wrong. When I finally took the tactic that my mother had actually showed me and my siblings, I promise you all, I got so much further. Me and my mother's relationship is so much better now. And a lot of it is because I humble myself and understand that that's mama, she trumps. I'd rather tell her, mama, I'm feeling some type of way, and that hurt my feelings, than to sit here and disrespect her and this and that before you know it, she's ready to go upside my head with a broom. I learned a different strategy and method to addressing any issue that I have. Now, when it came to my siblings, there becomes slightly different ground levels. And you feel as though, well, I don't owe you nothing. I ain't got to give you, you ain't mama. You ain't daddy. But I feel that, and I had to learn this. What I had to learn was, I'm still setting an example here. It's still time for me to be humble and show that we can be able to resolve our issues because we're still family. It's still bloodline. Whatever issues may arise. I've had almost everything within my sibling family happen as far as issues. Down to infidelities, down to fighting, down to stealing, down to, making me look like a bad mother. And it just, man, it was deep. And I'm going to acknowledge and own, I was in that too. I played a part in that. So it wasn't just them doing that to me. I did that to them. You get to a point where when you face with an experience that gives you that epiphany, like, you better wake the hell up. You got to try something different. I had it. Mine was, I refused to want to see my ways in my children. Which leads me to, it did. And that's when I realized that I had to come at this in another way and bring back them conversations and talks that mama used to have, because guess what? Yeah. I would have been in jail. Seriously. People could have got hurt. Seriously. I had to step back and not engage and say, what else can I do? Because this ain't going to do nothing but trickle down. And remember, my whole objective and my whole point is that I got to break these generational curses that have actually been harbored in many of our families for many, many generations. I didn't want them. Because I'm not going to be here. I may not be here. I'm not going to claim that. Because I might be here. But it's a possibility that I might not be here to see my grandchildren get to my age. I might not get to see my grandchildren be the age where it's that now they are grown and they're showing their parents, my children, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And I don't know what the times are going to be like then and what type of influence or impact that society may have on it. So I need to get a top on it now. And this is why I'm sitting up here. I'm making these videos. Trust me, if you go on my Instagram page, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but you just check out my YouTube videos. I'm advocating for this because this is coming from the heart, because I am done with it. And done with what? Done with this negativity, this dysfunctional disease in my family. And then I turn around and I see it in others. So I'm not able to change the world, but I can change what's going on over here and set the example, and maybe I have a domino effect. When disagreements, confusion, misunderstandings boiled up and created a lot of conflict between me and my children, it showed me things that I never thought I would have to face. It hurt. I didn't realize that I was dealing with not just grown children. I was dealing with some hurt young children too, that needed to let some stuff out that they didn't get to talk about or get to share. And they were harboring that, and that was making them act out on me, on our relationship, on even in society, wherever they was going through. And I had to get them to a point to say, I need y'all to talk to me. I need to find out what's going on here. Even after I thought I knew everything. Come to find out I was doing all the talking. They was listening. Now it's time for me to listen. And let them talk. And I found out some things. But I tell you what, and I feel good, and I'm so thankful to higher powers that some things I didn't have to go through, because despite the serious and even dangerous scenarios that have transpired between me and my children, I thank almighty powers that nobody got hurt and no fatalities. Because I made the decision to say, it stops with me. And I'm going to set the example while I'm here. Until my days, it's time for me to go. What they say? Or I'm going to go back to the question. How do we as a family deal with confusion that leads to conflict that then turns into chaos? I chose to create strategies and methods, and there are different ones that everyone can come up with, that we as a family can be able to utilize when we're tackling issues. Number one, you have to address it. Number two, you have to make sure that all parties have a say and share their experience. Number three, you all share a solution of some form. And then you all mutually form an understanding form a solution to that understanding. And then last, you leave it there. And you move forward. It's done. I have a blog, and it's on WordPress, Age of Aquarius. I'll actually start leaving a lot of this information in my YouTube. That way you can check that out as well. And it is a neat method that I utilize and I try. I took it back to the scientific formula method where they had the question or the problem, the hypothesis, all of that. And I use that format as a way to solve issues that I was dealing with. And it also can be used within a family. I know you're probably looking like, really? Well, just don't knock it till you try it. If you've never used it, how you gonna sit there and say that it won't work? I wanted to come up, and that's not the only formula I came up with. I even designed my own to where is it that I showed how we're actually getting stuck within situations, and that's why we're not able to move forward. And that's going to be another video that I'm going to share with you all, but I'm going to do that when I have one of my family members with me. So, I encourage you all to keep checking up and watching my videos, because I want to be able to, grow and expand my viewers, expand the subscribers. Yes, I'm in, baby form. So, what I'm saying? I'm just coming out of the womb, but that's okay, because I got stuff that's in my stomach and my gut, and I need to share it, and I want to share it, and that's why I am sharing it. But that will be a later video. But it is a method and strategy that I created to be able to help deal with problems. But I'm saying that the scientific method can actually be used. Just try it as an experiment and see what happens. But when you take all those steps, it kind of boils down to the 4 that I just gave you. And those can be able to alleviate confrontation that leads to physical confrontation in families, to where is that, we're regretting that we even went that route. We're, asking ourselves, what was something else we could have did? Well, here it is. Can it be applied with friends? Yeah, but my video was just focused on families. So that's why I'm talking about families. Because I've seen such strife, such chaos happen in families that it's like, wow, you would think that we strangers on the street. I don't want that for y'all, because I didn't want it for me. I've been in several scenarios where I wanted to physically hurt somebody in my family. How do we get there, y'all? We don't get to choose to come here. We don't get to choose who our family is, and we all got to go. Now, them 3 pills that you got to swallow, either way it go, I don't care how you look at it. It's just what it is. This is how it's going to go. So what you going to do in the meantime? Because it's not like you can actually say, well, I can take that family member back. You can take them out. No, you can't. Only thing you can do is just choose to say, I'm going to love you from a distance, or I'm not going to have you in my life, but I ain't got to wish nothing bad on you. That sometimes is so hard, because we're so bothered, hurt, upset, angry, mad, or whatever the individual did. You just want to do something. You want to put your hands on them. You want to do something. Next thing you know, something happens. Then you be like, I didn't mean to do that. You kind of did. You just didn't think you was going to do it. But if you try other methods on addressing the issues and letting a person know that, guess what? This is how you made me feel. This is what you did to me. And then that person should be humble enough to acknowledge and say, you know what, I was wrong. Because we don't do that enough neither. And if you're the one that did the wrong, acknowledge that you're wrong and apologize and say, man, we need to move forward. If I need to give you time until you're ready to, then fine. We got to start by setting the example so that it trickles down, or it has a domino effect and it goes around before, this society is going to be even more uncontrollable than what it is right now. If you can sit there and look at stuff and say, I can't believe this, you know it's something really going on here. So if we don't start correcting and starting with either the person in the mirror, or starting within your own tribe and your own tent, your own home, your own porch, we won't really see a change. We talk about we want to see a change, but we have to understand what we're able to change and what's in our control to change. Start there and then work outward. And that goes back to self when I started with that video, and working outward. You have a problem, you have an issue, A misunderstanding that has created conflict and confusion. Don't allow the chaos to escalate and get out of control. I'm focused on the family right now. And we have a problem that is brewing within our family right now, to where is it that the particular individual thinks that yes, just physical altercation is going to stop this. And then the other individual is like, what's up? So we got both of these forces like, man. And I'm kind of in the middle like, no, I can't stand here forever though. And that's what prompted this video, because I'm not going to always be there. And I don't need something to happen and then it goes way out of hand, and then somebody got to sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry, this and that. I might be at the point where these two is. Now, I don't hope that, because I'm setting the example. We have to learn to deal with our shit. We have to learn to acknowledge our shit. We got to be able to sit down and confront our shit face on and sit in it. If you made your bed, lay in it. It's not fair for you to get mad and you want to sit here and fuss at somebody because your bed is not made. Y'all know exactly what I'm speaking of. And once again, I'm focused on the family. And it's prompted because it is brewing in mine now. I'm not able to get to everybody. Don't do this, don't do that. But what I am saying is that man need to talk. And then it was even kind of mocked. Like, man, not trying to hear all that. Evangeline Van Zandt fixed my life, or Dr. That lets me know you got some more going on within you. This just the core. This not even the core. It's just a piece of it. You just want to be able to bust and blow up because you got so much brewing inside of you. But they don't want to talk.